As a DP, daylight interiors are one of the most commonly shot scenes in all of movie making. You got overcast, afternoon, morning time. You even got blue hour. So today we're gonna look at that. We're gonna deep dive what all of daylight looks like and what mood we're going to fit the story.
Yeah, we're gonna go through 4 different looks, different times of the day, and different emotions of a scene. There's a lot more considerations that go into what a daylight scene should look like, and that's what you're here for.
I'm stoked. Let's experiment. All right, guys, I'm with JC Falcon, AKA Tiny Machine. Big fan of yours. Go look him up on Instagram. I wanted to go for a dramatic look. I wanted to darken it all out. I wanted there to be a ton of contrast. What do we got going today for bringing in this sunlight coming into the room?
Because it's not sunset right now, we ended up gelling up the windows with half CTO so that when you go inside, the world will look warmer. On the ceiling, we have visqueen, which is trash bag material to darken the top. A lot of people don't realize you get a lot of ambient spill from the ceiling because it's a white ceiling for most parts. Harder light is usually what you're getting with sunset because the sun's lower, things are more directional. So that's kind of what we wanted. We wanted 2 point sources that will just bring in the shadows, and then we can cut it off the top with a little bit of 2x3 solid. Usually when you're working with point sources, you want to have a flag around so you can create that shape.
This afternoon, sun is low, but I also wanted to see those rays. I like those dramatic sunbeams coming in.
When we have haze in the room, you always want to use the light as a backlight, and that's when you see the rays.
We're getting that downward slash, really helped us. JC's the man. I just met him today. I'm a big fan, bro. We're gonna be working together. We're gonna be working together again, man. So now transitioning from our afternoon sunset look to now our daytime high noon look. We took the CTO off, so now we're getting general daylight, and that automatically gave us a fully different mood. The second thing I did was I opened up the left window. By opening it, we have given another source of light, essentially. These shears aren't the most diffusion you've ever seen, but they are adding a little bit more softness to the overall room and giving us just a little bit more spread. We replaced our hard light with a panel light. In fact, we have 2 panel lights in a double yoke just to give us a little bit of ambiance. If you look down here on the bottom left of the frame, we've got exposure on this wood floor, adding a lot of dimension to the room. I did find that it was a little too bright, and so what I did in camera was I lowered my ISO down from 500 down to 250, so that brought down the overall ambience while keeping the sources hot. It's really subtle changes, a thing I like to call, you guys know it, let me hear it, Tway, cut the tway. Now we're moving on to our overcast. It's kind of sad, a little bit more somber. We opened the Venetian blinds up completely to bring more ambient light in. Another change we made was we took the window to the left and we closed and sealed that off completely. I want it to be really muted, cognizant of a overcast day. What we got going on underside this setup?
12 by Ultra Bounce as the back tent. On the window, we actually taped up a quarter grid silk on it. So the reason why we did this is because anytime we're thinking soft light, I always think book light. What better way to get a soft light than creating a big book light around the window?
Not only is it good for overcast, but it's also great for hiding the details outside that you may not want to see in frame.
The nice thing about this is it's pretty easy if you break it down to, the basics. It's just a white sheet and another white sheet and then a light in between. So if you just put it up against the window, blow it out on camera, it should look pretty good.
When you go outside and it's overcast, it has that kind of muggy, foggy type of feel. So why not add and enhance our interior scene with adding haze? You know I love haze. Tway tries to get me to turn that haze off. Tway, I'm turning that haze on. No, but it fits really well in this scene because it's cloudy outside, it just gives you the idea. We're gonna get our talent in here in just a little bit and make our last looks final and hit record. So for Blue Hour, we didn't really change much with the lighting. We almost kept it the same. We did add another P600C into Ultra Bounce, pushing light through that left window as well to fill in a little bit. We did gels already, but I do want to try to change the color of the light fixtures. We're gonna jump on Sidus Link and dial in the specific kind of blue we want. The other thing we did to really emphasize that blue and to make it really pop is turned on both practicals, changed those to a very warm 3200 Kelvin tungsten. I'm a huge fan of practicals, and I'm glad we're using them in this scene. Since it's morning time and it's, he's just getting up, we wanted it to be a little bit more approachable. So up here on the fan, we literally just put up an empty tube, dropping down a nice little tungsten on our talent here on Chris. We also have a fill board over here, returning just a little bit more exposure on Chris's face. We're about to get into it. That was the last thing I wanted to talk about before we hit record. Let's do it. That looked great. That's a wrap, guys. Let's do it.
That's looking good, Kevin.
Thank you, man. Credit to the crew. We had an amazing crew today. Man, that was a lot of fun. Daylight. Who knew it could be so versatile?
Now 4 different options that you can try out. Each one has a different emotional quality, and now your actor is in an environment that is conducive to that emotion that you want to pull from your script.
I think we got a question, right?
Yes, we got a comment question, and it comes from Rodrigo Landa Romero. How would you shoot several scenes when traveling, considering the tight schedule?
Just keeping things simple. There's no need to overcomplicate. Come up with a formula or a theme on how you want to light. Replicate that formula on every location and scene that you do, so you're not trying to recreate the wheel on every location. Thank you so much for joining. I had such a great time today, but unfortunately, I gotta go back in and eat the rest of the crafty. You guys don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Sounds good.
I love you, brother.
I love you.
I love you.
I love you, my
All right,
guy.
guys. See you later. See you next time.